Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in any part of the world. I welcome you for the Vivid webinar here. We are going to have today's session on migrating to Service Manager 9.3x to improve user experience, return on investment, and total cost of ownership. It's a great privilege and thing to have today with us our own esteemed guest, who is none other than Scott Knox, who has been in who's the product manager and has been the senior product manager for Service Manager, manning this post for 12 plus years, working in various technical roles with the product since 1996. So we have actually a veteran who has spent 40 years in IT and probably must have started at the age of 3. He loves Service Manager, the ecosystem, and his customers, and is committed to do his best to help be successful with our HP products. He will also try to keep you entertained as he goes through this session. And I'm glad to welcome Scott Knox, who will take us through today's session on the migration to Service Manager 9.3x. With that note, Scott, we look forward to hearing from you. And I've one housekeeping rule. We will reserve the questions at the end, so feel free to use the question panel to post your questions, and then we will take it up at the close of the session. With that, over to you, Scott.
Okay, thank you, Suresh. This is Scott Knox. I'm one of your product managers. I've been working on the product since the Peregrine days in 1966. That would be that. 1996. And with me is Nir. Nir, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Nir Ohayon, and I am running the Service Manager R&D team. And we do have the Upgrade Factory team, which we'll elaborate in a few minutes during the presentation.
Okay, and so you can tell Nir is the cool guy with the glasses. I didn't get to wear glasses, and I don't look as cool as Nir. Okay, so this is a live session. We are being recorded. We wanted to make sure everyone understood that. We are going to hold the Q&A to the end, although there will be a number of polling questions along the way that we will want your input on and your feedback about. And as we move forward, we're fighting a little bit of technology here along the way, but the next part of our discussion is going to be some information about the screens themselves. You'll see your webinar control. There's a number of controls. Does anybody want to provide any additional guidance about the GoToWebinar control sessions? I normally point out that there is a question manager. We'd like you to use the question manager to document the issues or questions or concerns. There will be some ways for you to do responses to the polling questions in the GoToWebinar session. You heard the description as a promotion to do an upgrade to a Service Manager 9.3x version. And we thought about that, Nir and I, as we were putting together this presentation. And we said there's probably a lot of other considerations that you would like to know about. And we will certainly talk about upgrades and migrations, and especially Nir and the great programs that he has available to help you with that. But we'll also be talking more broadly about migrations and other paths to success that you can use to make your service management with HP more successful. And so with that, what I wanted to do is I have my first of my polling questions, and that question is, how many of you are looking to do a Service Manager or other kind of migration in the next 6 months? So can someone open our polling and let's see what happens.
So thank you for voting. I can see the votes coming in, and I will give you a couple of more seconds and then I'll close this poll.
Okay. And what kind of results did we get? Oh, you're going to show them to me there, aren't you?
Here are they. The 77% of the people said yes, we are considering some form of upgrade or migration in the next 6 months, and 23% said no.
Okay, excellent. And as we go through this presentation, you may find some other things that might change your mind a little bit. Before I go, I try to make my presentations interesting, and so I wanted to share with you a mail I got today, and I'm kind of hiding where it came from and so forth and so on, but it was pretty funny. Basically, there is a group, and what they were trying to say is that the ITSM community is going through a number of changes, and they started to talk about the processes that are not currently a part of the ITIL process set and the ITSM frameworks, and there's a number of them. And so basically in this little article they talked about indictment management, which is in IT our job is to at some level make sure somebody else is responsible for the problems and make sure we call out that someone else is responsible for the problem. Or how about this one? Let's refuse to do service. Or let's make sure knowledge management is a different discipline about making not the information available to the consumers, but let's use information and best practices to make sure that other people are less successful than we are. And this was kind of a funny little article about how IT as a group talks about using these frameworks and running down these roads and trying to do make IT successful, but in fact when you look at what actually happens, there are a lot of challenges in the world we live in and in the exercises we try to accomplish these days. So I wanted to share that with you. You can take a look at that. I'm sure you can find it up there on Google. But for us, I wanted to move us forward and talk about implications of the landscape based on Gartner. And Gartner took a look at what ITSM is like today and as a framework for upgrades and migrations and why we think these are important and we want to help you. What they basically said was there are a number of different primary implications and impacts on IT professionals today, and they include things like mobile devices and cloud services and different kinds of cloud services and a number of different impacts, mobile applications, and are you going to have an internal app store, for example? Are you going to control the apps on people's phones that are running in your ecosystems, and these kinds of issues? The point was that it's a very difficult infrastructure and environment we live in today. And I wanted to use that and as a springboard, using this slide here, to ask you the question, a polling question, that is, from the list you see here, I'm going to give you a set of possible impacts, and I would like you to rate the most important impact on you and your business today. So if you could open the polling question, that'd be wonderful.
Yes, it's open now. And as Scott said, the question is, please pick the most important impact on your organization. And the options are cloud and service brokerage, mobile and consumerization, security, technology sprawl, and something else. And I can see the votes coming in. And I give you a couple of more seconds. And then I'm going to close the poll and show the results. And the results are 38% say cloud and service brokerage, 31% mobile and consumerization, and 15% for both technology sprawl and something else. So nothing for security.
Interesting. Wow, that's very interesting. Okay, that is very good to know. So on we go. I'm going to now accelerate because I want to just make sure that you know a few things, and then I want to make sure we have time for Nir to talk about the technologies that are available as you move into the upgrades and migration activities. So our next topic that we have here are the changes that are in place in the latest versions of Service Manager. In 9.32 and 9.33, we've delivered a number of different improvements. Process Designer now supports the knowledge management, change management, as well as the service desk, incident management, and problem management disciplines. There's two new mobile clients available to you. We have improvements in service request catalog to make it much more usable with dynamic options for your user population, your casual users. We have new APIs, new technology improvements, and so forth. And one of the big changes in 9.33 that you'll note, for those of you that have been wanting to deal with attachments more effectively and do auditing and governance on attachments in Service Manager, that was one of the big changes in 9.33. But all of that said, what we want to get into now are the motivations for an upgrade and a migration. And to get us there, what I thought I'd do is make sure that you are thinking more broadly than simply an upgrade of a Service Manager system. So there are a number of things. That was fun. A number of changes that you might want to look at as well as the upgrade. So obviously, you could upgrade or migrate to Service Manager 9.3. You could deploy a new Service Manager if you're on Service Center or Service Desk as an example. You could decide that you would like to deploy Process Designer. It's a very similar activity to doing an actual upgrade, but rolling out Process Designer will get you serious benefits and serious value as you work through an easier way to do codeless configuration and easier upgrade steps in the future. You may want to continue to extend the service management discipline with other tools and products, such as UCMDB and Discovery. You may want to link that to the monitoring operations activities. You may want to do SRC. And then finally, you may want to consider an upgrade or a migration to Service Anywhere. But the point is, all of these activities have this common thread that you are going to put your user populations through change, and what we want to talk about next is how we can help you with that exercise. So the motivations, and I won't spend a lot of time here, but fundamentally there's a lot of reasons we believe that we can help you and we want you to move forward. You will find that the systems are faster, they're more resilient, they work better, and they deliver more functionality to your consumers, to your business. You can automate more with the newer versions of Service Manager, and especially with Process Designer, linking Service Manager to automation becomes more powerful, and it makes you able to defer or avoid costs. This slide points to the top reasons that we think you may want to do some form of migration project. You may want to move to the cloud and take advantage of different pricing models. You may want to leverage a new tool we're delivering called Deployment Manager that eases the cost of ownership of a service management system. And ultimately, you may want to deal with Service Anywhere to get a new style of IT service management as you move forward. The next part of this slide is going to be about considerations and resources, and we're going to move through that. I'm going to hand off to Nir here in just a moment, but I wanted to make sure that you understand that HP has a number of resources that are available to help you as you move forward. We have HP, and I'll just kind of move through them individually. We have the service management support organizations have built specific offerings and are there to help you. And one of the things we like to point out is that if you have the option, we strongly encourage that customers utilize a premier level of support while they're going through an upgrade and migration program. And that we find that the costs that you pay, the light cost you pay for these updated support services are more than offset by improved effectiveness of your upgrade activities. Next, we have a whole slew of offerings from our, oh, that was lovely. I apologize. That was not supposed to have a build in it. But there's a number of different solutions available from our professional services organization that will bring about, and this includes partners as well, that can accelerate your effectiveness. We have a new group, and I wanted to make sure that you hear about it here, called the Customer Success Team within HP. And this team, including Louis, who I believe is going to be on the call, will assist you and help you deal with any kind of issue. Their job is to make sure that the service management team and your organization is as successful as you can be. And then finally, that brings us to the HP R&D team. And the R&D team is here to help you as well to get through your upgrade and migration activities and prepare you for success with the latest versions of Service Manager. And so with that, I want to hand it off to Nir. And Nir, take it away.
Okay, Dave. As Scott mentioned, we put in place in order to make the upgrade easier and improve the time to value, in addition to the tooling that we are developing and improving from version to version, which I'm going to elaborate in a minute, we also put an upgrade program in place, which is in very high level is built up to assist the customer throughout the entire life cycle of the upgrade, from the planning phase up onto the post-upgrade. And that's basically involved both R&D, support guys, PSO if needed, to ensure your easy of upgrade. Yeah, so in each phase, which is the planning phase, build and test, go live, and post upgrade, we have a few deliverables that you might find interesting. For each customer, we do analyze the upgrade status and their current situation, what is their base version, and what is the deployment, and what is their target version, which is what they would like and aiming to do, if they would like to install Process Designer or just a stay close out of the box, or just do a strict migration. So in the planning phase, we do offer architecture review, that our team of architects, system architects, review your system, and based on your expected usage, we give you a recommendation about the deployment. That's actually ensuring that the system is, it's ensuring in advance that the system will be utilized in terms of performance. Also, based on our experience, we can review also your project plan to see in terms of timeline and workflow if everything is as expected, if we're doing the steps, the major steps actually according to our best practices. For instance, we will deploy the contact packs only after we completed the upgrade, etc., etc. And a very important deliverables also is the upgrade assessment, which we basically can take your dump file. We use our own internal tool for that, and our experts will analyze your current system and will give you a document that will actually identify the gap from your current tailoring customized system to the target one, and you will also get like kind of a rough estimation of how long it will take to you to complete all the conflict resolution during the build and test phase. That brings me to the second phase, which is throughout the major part in terms of time of the build and test of the upgrade. So we do have a proactive project support, which it includes R&D support, customer success team, the team that we saw a slide before, that everyone is having with you kind of a virtual team to secure, and the main goal is to secure your go live date. Okay, so we are working also with the project account managers and everyone, and we do accelerate the defect correction, and we deliver hot fixes where is needed for you to clear all your showstoppers, etc. During the go live date, you know, the go live, it's usually the weekend. So during the go live period, we do have support with R&D and support team to support you 24/7, and for any issue that you have during the staging and the rollout date. And a couple of weeks after the go live date, we do come back and we don't say goodbye, but we still work with you on the same way we worked with you before. And we keep the virtual team to oversight all the issues that we might have or concern that you might have after the rollout date. Okay, so for the next slide, please. Okay, so so what's, you know, we do have, so how do we basically support you? Okay, so basically we support you. We provide better documentation, which I think this is the time to drill down in. So we do have the Upgrade Knowledge Center, and which is first published in 933 a couple of months ago, which we aggregate 12 different documentation into one documentation that will help you to help you the workflow of the upgrade, and that's put under the same web page all the needed resources that you will need in order to complete a successful and right upgrade. We also do have a conflict resolution best practice guide that it includes lots of examples and know-hows about what you need to do in every or most of the conflict resolution cases that you will find during that process. And we also have a version-to-version comparison that you will know what are the DB tick changes between the versions, etc., etc. In terms of tools, we do improve the upgrade tool dramatically. So we have better logging mechanism. We have we forced a ROI overwritten within the tool. So we check if you don't have a ROI license, which most of the customers don't. We force the ROI changes as well, and that's save you a lot of time in terms of doing that during the conflict resolution and confirm that. We do have a very cool tool that it's up during the staging phases when you shift from development environment to testing and from testing to production. So that's actually, you don't need to transfer all the data. You just transfer the data in blocks. So you have like a time frame that you want the delta of the upgrade or the customized upgrade to move on, and that's that's improved also the downtime when you're staging, and also saving it's more aligned with the right agile development process that customers usually use. And as I said, we do have extended R&D oversight throughout the entire process, together in tight with support. We do have accelerating the defect correction, and the main goal of all of us together is to secure your go live date once you declare it and it's reasonable.
So Nir, if I could just jump in there, I want to make a point, and I've been sitting in the same chair basically for 12 years, and I am your advocate for all of you on the customer side, and have been for a very long time. And the one thing I've noticed is that that there were a number of difficult upgrades in the past. The Service Center 6 to Service Manager 7 or 7.11 was a fairly complex upgrade because the tooling that you needed wasn't as mature as we've made it now. And also there were a number of different process improvements and process changes within the Service Manager that you needed to deal with, and so forth. And if I can leave you with one piece of insight based on Scott's background, based on what I do every day, I would have you try to give the upgrade a chance and take a look at the newest upgrades, the 9.3 related upgrades, 9.3.2 and 9.3.3 particularly. Talk to other customers, because what I've heard a number of different times is that the customers thought the new upgrades were going to be much more complex than they actually proved to be, and that when they actually executed their 9.3.2 upgrade, it was way easier than they thought it would be. Nir, does that sound right to you?
That sounds absolutely right. We do have customers that with medium-sized customers environment completed their upgrade within 2 to 3 months, and 2.5 months out of it was complete the conflict resolution and testing. So the technical wise, transfer data from one version to one version and everything together took less than 1 day. So the tools that we do have now is way better than what we had in 9.20 and 7.11, and the application upgrade tool is very, very saving time to customers, and we improve the time to value dramatically, and we do still continue to work on it on a daily basis consistently.
Okay.
Okay, so that's another view about what I just discussed about the upgrade program. So As I said, it's project assessment. We do architecture review. We provide our experience and insight, and we can share it with you along the way. You will have an open channel with us, with R&D, to answer any question that you might have along the way, and that saved a lot of issue afterwards. We do have more than 80 customers that right now upgrading and under our upgrade program supervision. We have from every base version from Service Center 6.2 to 9.32, minor upgrade to 9.33. We have in all the region, in all industries. So we basically very familiar with all kinds of upgrades, with all kinds of tailoring and customizations. And customer would like, to upgrade to 9.33 and stay close out of the box. There are some customers that would like to do to keep the same processes and the same workflows, and that also can be done. So we know all your pain points and most of the issues that you might interface in the futures, and we basically all the knowledge, and this knowledge can be assist you, and we're offering our assistance to you. That's the bottom line.
And one of the other topics I wanted to call out here, it's not just version-to-version migrations. Many customers are now in the process of deploying process designer content, and process designer content pack 3 for change, and then the new help desk content packs with incident, service desk, and problem. And the work to go through that is actually much easier than many people expected. And they are also realizing that the value of having codeless configuration is huge, and we have the same abilities to support you, that same best practice on how do you go from where you are to a newer version, or where you are to a process designer-based service manager. And we can help you if that is the direction, or that is the set of questions you would like help with. Okay, back to you, Nir.
You're welcome. Okay, so the next slide, that's actually summarize our working and tooling. So we do have tooling improvement. As I said, we have the Upgrade utility is improved dramatically. We do have the Delta migration tool that will help the customers during the staging phases. We do have and improve the APM, which is the application patch manager, that helps you to do a minor upgrade. So once you are reaching to the 930X product family, upgrading to the latest version application-wise is very, very easy and smooth. And the majority part of this upgrade is just testing your system to see that everything is, your customization just went one version up smoothly, and that's very, very easy. We do working on deployment tools that will be available in the next version to make the entire service manager deployment much easier. I will let Scott to emphasize on that after I'm done. We do put processes and programming in place. So we do have the upgrade factory team, and we have the upgrade program, which is my team and the program that I just presented to you. We do have the customer success team, which is a team that all the purpose of those experienced guys is to reach out to you customers and assist you with the decision and the timing and everything, and support you along the way. And we do put best practices in order to improve the time to value. So we have the Upgrade Augmentation Center, and we do have the conflict resolution documents. So everything together here, as you can see, is have one main goal: to support you throughout the entire process and upgrade process. And we know that lots of customers are getting into the upgrade with a lot of fear and a lot of concerns, and we are here to reduce that and hopefully to solve that as well.
So Nir mentioned deployment tools, and I just want to put a little advanced warning out for you. Advanced notice is a better term. You will soon hear, if you haven't already, of a tooling capability called Deployment Manager. It is HP capabilities that are designed to remove the cost out of deploying Service Manager, SRC, Release Control, and UCMDB, and the rest of the product suite. It is also a tooling that will help you actually do patches, do updates, to do care and feeding of your service management system. And what I want to just say here is if you see the phrase Deployment Manager coming across, and we'll do a number of webinars, we'll do some additional information feeds for you, but when you see Deployment Manager, I strongly encourage you to check it out and see what it's bringing to the table. And I believe you will be very excited about the kind of changes we're bringing you. Okay, so the next area that I wanted to move us to is Service Anywhere. The teams would be very upset with me if I did not talk at least to some levels about what Service Anywhere is going to do, what it's about, and how you might consider Service Anywhere in two different environments. The first of those things we want to talk about is what we recommend. And you can use service, and you can read the chart here, but fundamentally it says you can use Service Anywhere when you want to move to a SaaS delivery model, when you have a simplified use case for service management, you have a small, lightweight service management. And one of the classic examples there is that what we're calling the line of business. If your HR department said they would like to have a help desk or do a little bit of service management in some way, but you don't want them in IT to be part of the core IT service management desk, or they don't want to be part of your desk, if you like, Service Anywhere becomes a valuable part of that exercise. If you want to take advantage of a different cost model, that is a monthly subscription model, as opposed to the existing service management perpetual licenses under Service Manager and Service Center, then SaaS might work for you. But as you can see, my point is that in some cases you may decide that a SaaS offering may be appropriate for you. If that is the case, Service Anywhere is available. There was a brand new release of Service Anywhere that came out or is in the process of coming out. It is great new tooling. It's called the March release, and it is very competitive, and in fact it is much more competent and capable because of some technologies we are bringing to the table around the use of what we're calling big data. So I'll give you that to think about. I encourage you to think about what Service Anywhere is, and if that's a direction you would like to go, I can tell you that the HP team and others, and I know that many of the partners, especially in APJ, have offerings that can get you on a Service Anywhere platform very, very quickly. And you can see here a kind of an example of timeline at which you could roll out such a solution if you decided to. So the bottom line here to all of this as we get ready to open the call for questions for a few minutes, if there are any, is to make sure you understand that HP wants to help you with upgrades and migrations and modifications of your system to Process Designer. Whatever your needs are make sure we understand them. Contact us, contact your support team, contact your sales folks, contact me if necessary, and let us help you understand how to get these upgrades done. Let us use our experience. Let us take advantage of NEAR and the R&D teams and the customer success teams to make you successful. So the marketing people will tell me that what should you do next, and there are several pieces here. We would like you to try Service Anywhere. We would like you to contact us. NEAR, I messed up this slide here. Could you give us the email you would like them to use if they would like support with the Upgrade Factory? Oh, I lost NEAR. We will make sure to get that information out to you. But I'm
here. Scott, I'm still here.
Okay, so yeah, the question was, what email address would you like them to contact if they would like assistance with an upgrade?
It's smupgrade, one word, at hp.com.
smupgrade@hp.com. Thank you. And then we would like you to think about trying Service Anywhere. Take a look if you haven't. You can find it here on our Pronk site. This is an internal HP website. We would encourage you to take a look at Discover in Las Vegas and meet us there. There will be a number of NDA booths, and we will be able to show you new releases that are coming out, show you new capabilities, and then I strongly encourage you to check out the ITSM blog. I write on the ITSM blog. There are many people that actually write on the blogs. They are very, very good. There are also forums and other resources available to you. In my blog, you will find Knox as a blog author. If you look for my blogs, you will find a number of them on upgrades and upgrade resources and so forth. But check out the blogs, check out the HP forums, and we are happy to help you in any way we can. Okay, so I'm sure there are questions out there, so I will open the call now and see if there are things we can help you with further.
Hey, thanks, Scott and Nair, for a scintillating session. It's great to know that people now have a particular opportunity to bank upon us and send a mail to smupgrade@hp.com. And glad that R&D and the entire team is looking forward to helping them in their journey of upgrade. So I have a couple of questions here. The first one was on the, just give me a second, I'll pull this a little bigger. How to contact R&D team for technical issues during migration. So I believe it's the same process that they will follow to start with smupgrade@hp.com for all assistance.
Yeah,
right?
So that's an smupgrade.com, and after we basically kick off the engagement with the customers, there will be an assigned support engineer and an assigned R&D guy to work with the customer, and then they can contact them directly. But the SM upgrade at hp.com, it's the first step for the contact.
Right. The next question is.
The other thing I'd like to, before you move on, I'd like to also encourage you. We want to make sure that the support team is actively involved with you throughout your upgrades, and we want to make sure that in addition to using NEAR and the Upgrade Factory and dealing with R&D directly, we also want to make sure that the support teams are involved, because what that allows us to do is document issues as they are encountered, and then make sure that we get them through the R&D teams, get the documentation updated if necessary, and so forth. So make sure you're also taking advantage of those customer support teams as well.
Yeah. Thanks, Scott. The next question is, will the upgrade factory perform the process design and migration as part of the upgrade? That is, enable process designer and send back an upgrade package with all customer processes, process design?
So it's the upgrade factory support the process designer upgrade, though the tooling doesn't support that. So the best, in a nutshell, the best practice for an deployment of a process designer is first to complete the upgrade, fully complete the upgrade and all the conflict resolution from the base version to the target version, and only after that deploy the context pack and start working on the workflows in the process designer, and that has to be manually. Most of the customers that we know are trying to align to the out-of-the-box as much as they can and do their tailoring in a very cherry picking, and then that's ensure their upgrades in the future in terms of process designer. What I can say, once you upgrade to process designer, the future upgrades, we do have an upgrade tool to support the upgrades of the future process designer, because in process designer, if you know, we do have an HP proprietary part and the customer proprietary part, and then there is a very two separate folders or objects that once we do take on charge on it, and then your upgrades in the future in the minor version or to 940 and so on and so forth will be also included the process designer. But the initial upgrade, you have to set it up manually. There isn't an upgrade on application tool that's doing that from the 933 to process designer.
Thanks.
Is it safe to say that a customer that is doing an upgrade and or a migration to a process designer, we would very much like to know that they are in that process and have them contact us at the SM Upgrade email site?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Yep.
Okay. The next one is, are these tools free or not? How to get them? I believe he's talking about the Service Anywhere part. Then you talked about a trial version. I believe that customers who can just have a time to do a trial version run of how Service Anywhere works. Is that a right assumption?
Correct. So there's two. Let me give you two parts. So an HP customer under maintenance is going to have free access to the upgrade tools for service managers. So that's part number one. Part number two, the process designer tools are free for an HP service manager customer. They're part of the service manager system, if you like. And then the HP Anywhere product that's available on pronk.com, the HP Anywhere product is a trial version, is absolutely free for the customer use. Log in, try it, test it, find out all the exciting things it can do for you. Then should you decide you want to use a product like HP Anywhere, then the sales team will set you up with a monthly subscription fee that is based on numbers of users per month. And so the cost of entry is actually quite low in that environment.
Oh, great. That's good. So the next question is, can I do some tailoring on HP Service Anywhere when a customer has some requirements on some processes? So I presume that they have something already on Service Manager, or they are looking only specific on Service Anywhere. But I will pass on the benefit of doubt to Service Anywhere as a service management tool to see if they could do some tailoring.
So HP Anywhere, Service Anywhere, I keep saying HP Anywhere probably. Service Anywhere is an ITSM solution, is very similar to Service Manager. It does have levels of capability for tailoring and customization, some of them very similar to the process designer capabilities you have in Service Manager, if you're familiar with those. But there are certainly ways that a customer can modify the system to meet their unique needs in Service Anywhere, and many of the partners are available to help you, and HP Professional Services is available to help you tailor and customize a system for your needs.
Right. And one important thing that I also wanted to add on to the HP Service Anywhere, when we talk about codeless configuration, I was pretty much thrilled when I demonstrated to a customer in Australia. They actually liked the easier way of making some changes, not only in the process designer, but actually writing a query, like putting a drop down saying that this is priority, this is one. So it's very easy. You don't require any programming skills. So the adaptability of becoming an administrator or a guy to run Service Anywhere was pretty much pretty quick. So I would strongly encourage as Scott mentioned, to go through Service Anywhere's capabilities, features, because it's a lot more fast to get yourselves deployed. And if you're looking at the conditions of cost optimization and for a shorter period of time, then it will be a great opportunity to put it in front of your customers. Yeah, so I think we were pretty much on to the end of the session. Any closing comments, Scott and Nir, before we wrap it up for today?
Just for me, because I always will find more to talk about, I just want to thank everyone for dialing in. I want to make sure if you have any questions, don't hesitate to get them to us and let us know how we can help you be successful.
Right, and we had 3 more poll questions. Is it all over? Do you need poll questions to be also answered, Scott?
No, that's okay.
Okay, so I think thanks a lot, Scott and Nir, for spending time and actually giving the customers the confidence of what's been in the pipeline, what kind of benefits that they could take advantage of the upgrade and migration part, what are the new service offerings that we have, and what is the kind of total support that people can reach out right away using the SM Upgrade at hp.com. And there's a host lot of collaterals available, blogs that you can do, and this recording will be posted into Vivid website, and the slides would be available. So please make use of the full advantage of it, and we look forward to hearing from you. And Scott is quite passionate about talking with all people to see, to get them move through the success journey of upgradation. So let's take full advantage of it and help customers to move to your successful upgradation or migration path. With that, I thank you one and all again for spending time and listening patiently for the last 1 hour. We hope that you got some benefit out of these sessions. We will arrange subsequent sessions and we'll keep you posted through Vivid, and we look forward to hearing from you soon again. Until then, have a great day, and goodbye then.
Thank you very much, everyone. And don't forget to fill out your surveys.